All right, so guys, we are now live, and I have Bearing here with me. We're just having a friendly little chat. As you guys may recently know, some of you may know, Bearing had an altercation with Traversable MGTOW, similar to what happened with me and him when I called him a feminist and he called me something else. Wanted to
That
know
was
what.
nothing, man. That was fucking nothing. That was you called me a feminist, and I asked, then I asked you what you thought about when you fucking masturbated. That was fucking child's play. That was banter. Fucking yeah, what wasn't that?
But the point is that in the end we ended up just shooting the shit. Traversable MGTOW, on the other hand, he called Bearing a pedophile in a video, and and then after that, Bearing basically insinuated that he was a homosexual to get him back, and uh,
And I literally only did that because I knew that it would get under his skin. Because have you ever noticed that when you're watching his stuff, it's about every 2 or 3 minutes he finds an excuse to tell you he's not gay.
honestly, I don't pay attention, but clearly you got under his skin, and
Mm.
I reached, I remember when I had a small channel. When I first started out, the first channel I had was not Angry MGTOW. It was actually called MGTOW United. It was actually a community channel.
Mm.
And when I left MGTOW for about a year, because I had closed that channel down, and when I left MGTOW for a year, I was actually very, very popular, similar to the way I am now. And
Mm.
Traversable was really upset when I left, and he said a lot of not so nice things about me as well.
Fair enough.
But I came back and we sorted it out. Uh, when it came to this thing with you and Traversable, I did not expect it to go to this point. And I remember when I had that small channel, I had a problem with Teal Deer, and initially Teal Deer ripped my video, and he ripped one of my videos, and I was like so pissed off because I'm thinking, what the hell? I only have like 200 subscribers. Why is this guy coming after me?
Had you called him a feminist though? was that
Well,
was that one of them?
I did call Teal Deer a feminist, but that was recent. I'm talking. This is I'm
Oh
talking.
yeah, so this scuffle wasn't a result of you calling him a feminist.
No, 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 no. This is
Yeah,
two
right.
years ago. Me and Teal Deer have history. So 2 years ago, I made a video calling women cockroaches, and and Teal Deer came after me after that, and I didn't know who the hell he was. I was like frightened when I saw this giant YouTube channel come after me, and this is before I started doing YouTube seriously. And I was so angry. I was thinking, I was like, I'm gonna file a copyright strike against this guy. But a lot
Mm.
of a lot of guys said, don't do that. There's a lot of reasons why you don't want to do that. And I ended up not doing it. The thing is,
Yeah.
that, I was still new to YouTube and I was still inexperienced. Now I make videos and I use other people's content to critique it, and I'm getting quite a lot of views that way. With
And
Traversable,
you've got every right to. Yeah, you've got the right to under copyright law.
well, here's the thing. While you have copyright law is a little bit funny, but fair use. But at the end of the day, no one actually wants to go to court. No one
Mm.
wants to go to court at the end of the day. The biggest company, CBS, doesn't want to go to court. That's
Yeah.
the honest truth. I mean, look at what happened with your. Look at what happened with you. You had some problems with the using the bear character with Cartoon Network, but Cartoon Network didn't want to go to court, did they?
Fresh TV. Yeah. That's exactly right.
You see what I mean? It doesn't matter how big they are, they don't want to go to court. Well, anyway, when it came down to Traversable and this whole thing with you, I reached out to Traversable when I heard what happened, and I said, I'll tell you exactly what I said to him. I said to him, Traversable, what are you doing? I said, listen, Bearing's a troll. This is what he does, but he doesn't really mean any harm, you know? And I said to him, if what you should have done is just done what I did. Shoot the shit with him. He has 300,000 subscribers. I honestly said this. I said, he has 300,000 subscribers. You could have done a podcast with him, sat down, talk. and you could have
Yeah.
gained from his subscriber count. I honestly
Exactly. Yeah. We probably would have had an argument, but there'd be some people in my audience that like him, and yeah, he probably would have gotten some audience off that.
honestly, after I did the podcast with you, I thought that things were going to be horrible. I thought that your subscribers were going to attack my channel. There were some people who did attack my channel. There were some people who attacked my videos from your channel. But then there were also people who said that after watching me talk to you on your podcast, it actually made me seem less insane.
Yeah. And can I ask why did you leave that podcast thinking that it would be bad? Like, why did I come across as that much of a cunt?
Well, you're a cunt in general, but but not that.
Yeah, it's my thing.
Just because, there's part of being on YouTube is drama. People love drama. People love hyping things. I mean, there was a video where Turd Fleeing Monkey said that Angry MGTOW is not MGTOW. Now, what he meant, or what he should have said, was, I don't represent the entirety of the MGTOW community. And then he did a collaboration in which he clarified, and he said, I'm not saying Angry MGTOW is not a MGTOW. I'm just saying that the MGTOW community is broad. It's a philosophy. There are many different ideas, and that's what MGTOW is. Well, people love drama regardless, and they kept on trying to push drama between me and TFM, which is just ridiculous because I really don't care. When it came to Traversable, like, I reached out to him and I said, bro, remove, if you can, get the community guideline strikes removed against Bearing. He went off on me about using his content to make money, and then that money you're going to use it to pay for someone else's bitch. Don't get me wrong.
What? Pay for someone else's bitch?
Yeah, again, you gotta understand. We talk about this. For example, there was a guy. Have you ever heard of Barbarossa?
Oh, the name rings a bell, but probably because I'm a World War II enthusiast.
Barbarossa and Stardust are essentially those are the two guys who are responsible very much for what we call MGTOW 2.0. MGTOW 1.0 was something a bit different. It was literally just men going their own way. MGTOW 2.0 is where we added the philosophy of, not getting married, not having children. Well, Barbarossa has a girlfriend. He's in a long-term relationship, evident, and from what we understand, he actually lives with her. This is the guy.
Hang on, how can he be MGTOW then? I thought that was against the rules.
He is not a MGTOW. That's the irony. But he can still talk about the MGTOW. He can still talk about the MGTOW content. In fact, he reached out to me recently, telling me these points, but because I called him out in a video about that. And the thing is that Traversable was really upset about that, because he said that, here you have Barbarossa telling these guys all this MGTOW information, and then you're paying, and then people are giving him donations, and he's using those donations to pay for his bitch.
That's a bit of a silly attitude, though, isn't it? I mean, how's that anyone's problem? I don't understand.
Well, it depends. I mean, for example, if a lot of men want to help other men survive and thrive, but when we talk about MGTOW, we don't want to go around giving men money so that they can throw it away on a woman. If we're gonna give you, people give me money, the donations that people give to me, I use it to help my internet connection. I use it to buy a new microphone. I use it to pay extraordinary bills that are popping up for this YouTube channel. I use it to buy food, but I don't use it to pay for a woman. And people like to know that the money that they're sending me is actually being reinvested in me, or in the channel itself. And I can see where Traversable is coming from. If you're taking that money and using it to buy a woman, expensive food.
Yeah. I suppose that's fair enough. It's your dollar, isn't it? You get to decide where it goes.
But when it came down to what happened with your channel, I definitely didn't agree with it. So I've reached out to him twice, and twice or three times now he's not responding to me anymore. and he said that
Oh, there he is. Here he is here in the chat. Do you want to? You should come on, Traversable.
Let me see if I can get him in. Hold on. I'll send. Let me see if I can get Traversable in here, because it would be good if we could all sit down and just talk this thing out. Like,
yeah, I agree. I agree. That's what I wanted to do from the start.
Let me go and I'll send him the link on Gmail. All right. So Traversable, if you're listening, I'm just gonna head over to Gmail and I'll send you the link to join the chat there. But Traversable is a good guy. Like I said, he can be a little cranky, but he's a really good guy. And he's a lot more down to earth than you would ever realize. It's just that, sometimes we can get very angry and in our passion, to say the least.
Yeah, look, I'm sure he is a good guy. He does seem like a nice guy, but I mean, I think there's obviously something about me that's pissed him off from the start. I mean, and I'm not too sure what it was, but it's obviously caused him to say some pretty ridiculous shit.
Okay, all right. So I just sent Traversable the link. There's the link to join. Okay, hopefully, and I think he got it. All right. Yeah. So I'm getting a response from him. Let's see.
It's a bit odd that it's a bit odd that he didn't respond to you twice when you reached out to him.
Maybe he was busy. I don't know, but I didn't want to get into this because it's like at one part, me and Traversable, he's been there for me a lot, and I really respect Traversable just because he's older, he's knowledgeable, and he knows he's in many ways, he's so dedicated to MGTOW that it's beyond admirable. Almost every Sunday he does what we call a podcast, and he where men can go and they can talk and listen, and we
call it podcasts outside of MGTOW as well, man.
But it is admirable. I mean, he's very, very.
Oh yeah, no, I was just being a smart ass. It is, yeah. I can see that. I really can.
He said, "Let me get water. I'll be right in." Okay, so you see, this is the way men are supposed. This is one of the problems that we have with society today. And I think this is why MGTOW is so important, because if you're not getting married, if you're not having children, if you're going your own way, you're a MGTOW. Doesn't matter if you love women. It doesn't matter if you hate women. It doesn't matter if you want to have children one day. You're still a MGTOW, and you can still use the philosophy to enrich your own life. Ed, you know Ed, right? Obviously.
Ed. Who's?
Yes, his icon is like a dog.
Oh, Ed Indro. Yeah.
Ed Indro is a MGTOW. He is a MGTOW, and
he doesn't call himself on that, does he?
Many MGTOWs don't call themselves MGTOW. MGTOW is just a philosophy. The word MGTOW doesn't mean shit at all.
But hang on. Are you saying that if a guy lives by himself and doesn't have a girlfriend, isn't in a relationship, then he's automatically a MGTOW? Is that your criteria?
If his intent, for example, if he lives by himself, doesn't have a girlfriend, and isn't in he's in a relationship, if he's choosing to live a bachelorhood life, choosing not to have children, and focusing on himself and his own happiness, then he's a MGTOW. Now, if he's living by himself, he's single, but he would like to get a girlfriend and he would like to have children, then then he's not a MGTOW. Do you see what I'm saying?
Does Ed not want to get into a relationship? I haven't asked him.
It's a choice. In other words, if he wants to get into a relationship, then he wouldn't be a MGTOW. But if, like Ed, for example, doesn't plan on getting married, doesn't have a girlfriend right now, and again, it doesn't matter if you have a girlfriend. You can be a MGTOW and have a girlfriend. Okay, but anyway, we have Traversable in here. I'm glad that we
have Traversable.
Hello, man.
So
how's the sound?
I'm gonna sit. Your sound is excellent. I'm gonna sit back a little bit because I think that there are two guys here that need to work this shit out.
Hello, Bearings. How are you today?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, mate, my name doesn't have an S on the end of it. It's not plural. It's singular. But
okay.
What's Look, I'll come out and ask it, mate. Why did you give me a community guideline strike? That was pretty low, man.
Because you stole my material.
Well, then, if I stole your material,
shouldn't you have asked permission first? Shouldn't we have developed a relationship? And no. That's the rules. Just because you say it's not the rules and you believe that the rules should be different, doesn't mean that that's the rules.
Look up the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, Section 107.
Look at the rules. You didn't ask permission.
Traversable.
Just telling you what the rules are.
Under fair use, someone doesn't have to ask permission to use the content. They just have to. There's different provisions.
No, YouTube rules. Would you like me to put them up? I went over them the other day.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and grab that right now. Showing us.
Let's have a look at it.
Cool.
And let's see here. Let me see if I can
see. The thing is, we're supposed to develop a relationship. See, I know what you guys do. You and like Shoe on Head, you go back and forth, but you
that's your opinion. Your opinion's irrelevant to me, man. Irrelevant.
You ask permission from each other. You develop a relationship, and then you do this thing where you grow your channels.
Well, show me the rule that says that. Just show me the rule that says that. No point arguing. Just show me the rule that says that.
You included me in your game without my permission. I don't want to play your game. I'm not.
You're going to show me the rule or not?
Let me bring it up. I'll have to find it.
Okay. First off, I'm going to say this. There is hostility between the two of you, and I understand why there's hostility between the two of you. But on one hand, I understand where Traversable is coming from, because Traversable, I understand it is your content, and I've been there like you. On the other hand, we're going to look and see what this provision is, but you said that you don't want to be a part of the game that they play
right
now, and I willingly got involved
because,
in this.
like you said, I end up paying for at my expense. I end up paying for something he's giving away to these women, and that's not my thing. He makes money from that, and that's fine. Don't include me in the game.
No, you're not paying for anything. The money that I earn. Simple as that.
Yeah, at my expense.
Okay, so you know what? Again, fair use is a very broad thing, and technically speaking, Traversable, you would not have been able to put a copyright strike against him. You're able to put a community guideline strike because of the things he said, calling you gay, right. So you understand that.
Right. I did the lesser of two charges, which actually.
Hang on, can I just interject there? I mean, if you're sitting here saying that me using any portion of your content is against YouTube rules, yet you didn't. Hang on a sec. I'm talking. You didn't file a copyright strike. You didn't file a copyright claim. You filed a community guidelines claim. Yeah. So that it just doesn't make sense from the get go.
It makes perfect sense to me.
How? Shouldn't you file a copyright strike if you have a copyright issue? A copyright claim?
No, you file a harassment and cyberbullying because that better fits in the terms of agreement that you have with YouTube.
Okay, see, Traversable, no, that's not right. If you're saying that
it's called maliciously recording someone without their content. Here, I'll put it up.
I didn't record you. You recorded you.
You recorded my work.
Okay,
I downloaded your work.
Traversable.
Yes, you recorded it.
No. You cannot, that's not true.
What are you, an idiot?
Yeah, right. Okay.
That is not malicious recording.
Yes, it is.
Malicious recording would be secretly recording someone and then using it.
I don't care what you think. It's a simple term.
Your content is already on the web, so people can hear what you've said. It's not that like he said something, he put something out there that you didn't.
That's why they add the word "ask permission."
Well, show us these rules. You still haven't shown us these rules.
I'm bringing them up now.
When they say asking permission, you would ask for permission if you recorded someone secretly or if you recorded someone in a private conversation. What he used was something that you put in the public domain. You put that in the public domain so then it was accessible for fair use. You put that out there in the public domain. Let me go ahead and present this to everyone. So, guys, you should be able to see the screen right now.
Maliciously recording someone without their consent.
Yeah, okay.
Consent. Did you have my consent?
I didn't record you. You recorded you and then put it in the public domain. Do you understand that?
That's a reinterpretation.
No, it's not.
Listen,
You
Yes, it
recorded
is.
you physically and you literally recorded yourself. I didn't record you. You did.
listen to me. Listen, make it.
You have to download it. You have to steal it. That's where copyright comes in.
Hang
You
on.
have to
So
take that.
what does that, what does this say about downloading? What does it say about downloading?
YouTube has, knows that you have, if you don't ask my permission, that's why they say consent.
No,
and then you use it to cyberbully.
No,
and then you use it
traversable.
to cyberbully. You are exactly what they're talking about.
I'm sorry, mate. You're flat out wrong. You're just wrong.
And then when you get a strike on you, you're like all like sissy, like, baby, oh, I didn't do that.
Traversable.
I didn't do that.
Not what it means. It says revealing, all right, maliciously recording. That means recording someone.
I don't care what you think of it.
But hang on, how it's interpreted matters, Trav. It matters. How it's interpreted by YouTube matters, especially.
Yeah,
now,
and YouTube interpreted it and gave you a strike.
Well, hang on. The reason for the strike was harassment and bullying.
That's what it falls under.
Are you saying that
did you read it? Can you read?
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, so
you're a fucking idiot. See, we're never going to agree on that.
All right, listen to me. Wait. Don't.
Thank you. I said what I needed to say.
First of all, don't leave. Please don't leave.
Yeah, don't leave. Don't be pussy.
We don't need this. We don't need this fighting.
You called me a pussy. I called you a pussy. You said I'm an idiot. See how this thing works? Keep it up, and it will work more like that.
You're both acting like idiots right now. Calm your tits down. Listen, we're all guys here, and I can understand where you're coming from, because you don't feel like he had the right to use your content without consent, and
right.
And I understand where you're coming from, because there was a time when I believed the exact same thing, and until recently I even believed that provision, but that's not how that is not exactly how it works. But I understand where you're coming from. Bearing,
you can skirt the rules.
Bearing, can you see his point a little bit, and why he might feel that way?
I can see why he feels that way, but unfortunately, the reason he feels that way is based on a misinterpretation of the rules.
You can skirt the rules like a woman. That's what women do. They skirt the rules. That's why they call it skirt the rules.
Hey, you know that video that I made about you, that you reported me for cyberbullying and harassment. You know that one that called you gay, that you're really embarrassed about. About probably 200 people have mirrored that now, man. That's all over the internet. Just be satisfied with that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
So, I was hoping that you would consider removing the community guidelines strike from.
See, at that point, YouTube picks it up, and it's YouTube decision. YouTube decides if it's cyberbullying and harassment, if it falls under.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I think.
Yeah, they don't send me a report and say, "Hey, do you really want to do this?"
Hey, can I ask?
They decided. See, that's the thing. They decided it was cyberbullying, and it was. Are you arguing with me? Or are you really arguing with YouTube?
No, I'm not arguing the point at all. What I want to ask is that why when you reported that, why had you taken down the video of where you called me a pedophile a heap of times? Why did you take that down?
Because it's useless now.
Right.
It's useless now. I provoked a response, and I got the response I wanted. And
what response did you want? What did you want out of this?
Exactly what I got.
Well, a big argument. You're going around trying to cause a big argument. It's okay if you are, but is that what your goal is?
Well, isn't that what you were trying to do?
Oh, I'd never even heard of you, man. Your video popped up out of the blue.
You want to come over, get some material so you can steal it, then cause big drama and arguments around here?
Yeah, man.
We're trying to do a bigger job with men.
Traversable, didn't I tell you that? Did you see my message where I said
we got work to do around here, and you're just interrupting it? You don't understand, MGTOW. You're not a MGTOW.
I didn't know you until you made a video about me calling me a pedophile. How the fuck have I interrupted you?
You're interrupting the work we do around here.
Think about just consider what you're saying for a second. You made a video about me saying this guy's a pedophile, right? Multiple times, and then
I said pedo bear.
Naturally, I get a bit pissed off.
Did I say pedophile?
And
now let's clarify this point. Did I say pedophile or did I say pedo bear? Pedo bear is a meme.
Yeah, you mostly said pedo bear, but then you included descriptions like he lures children. It's a pedo trap. To lure underage.
Pedophile or did I say pedo bear?
I think you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
are you implying that? Did you go to your head and imply that pedo bear is a meme? Understand your memes.
I've got the video here. Look, I'm not going to argue with you on that. You know
Okay,
exactly
yeah,
what you said.
you know exactly what I'm saying. Understand your memes.
Sure.
How is
Right.
how is this
Right.
productive?
Just because you don't understand it, you get snarky.
Well, I'm not snarky. I
You
don't
are
know what your
snarky.
point
You're
is.
all
What's
the
your
time snarky.
what's your point? What is your point? Why did you make that video?
Why did I make that video? Because I felt like it.
So
Just like
you
when you feel like
so
you
you
make videos
interrupted my
about
work. You
why do
interrupted
you
my
make
work
videos, Bear?
because that's what I do. It's what I do for a living. It's what I like
Okay,
to do.
it's what I do.
Okay, so yeah. Did you not expect me to come back and retaliate somehow? And how do you think that you're at all an honourable fucking person or
I
a person
expected
with
you to
any fucking
retaliate.
guts at all?
And I
When
said I don't
when
really,
you run to
yeah.
YouTube and say, "Oh, bully, he's bullying me."
Oh man, yeah. I expected exactly, and you did exactly what I wanted you to do.
What? You don't make any fucking sense, man. You just don't make sense. What? I don't understand what you're saying.
You did exactly what I wanted you to do, and then you got exactly what you had coming to you. You got a strike.
Why did you want to do that to me? What had I done to you?
It was a warning. It was a shot across the bow. It will get worse. There are
About
hundreds
what?
of thousands of me.
About what? About what had I
Because
done
when
to
you
you?
come to MGTOW and you disrupt what we do, and you start
When
trying.
had I disrupted
You're
MGTOW?
in MGTOW right now. You're in the MGTOW space. You have MGTOW followers.
I was invited in. I was sitting here at my computer about to go to bed. Angry MGTOW
Do I
messaged
come
me and
over
says,
the skepticism and start? You've never seen me over there.
Angry,
Before
Angry,
2
what's
weeks ago.
your opinion on this? Do
Before
you think
2
this
weeks
is ridiculous?
ago, I don't make a living on going over to your community. I stick here and I try to deal with the men I have. I try to do.
I hadn't come into your community.
You know how many suicides? You know how many suicides that I have to sit in the morning till 4, 5, 6 in the morning talking these men through every month, every week.
That's really horrible, and I absolutely feel for those guys, and I think you're a good bloke for doing that sort of work. But what the fuck has it got to do with you having a crack at me?
Because you're in my community. It's like walking into a healthcare building and starting to do comedy at the people that are hurt.
Trav,
do you walk into hospitals and start laughing at people that are hurt?
Trav,
you may do that because you're that kind of person.
Trav, when you made the video about me, how was I in your community?
We're not going to digress on this argument.
I'm just asking a simple question. You said you made the video because I came into your community.
We're not going to recirculate this argument.
In what sense was I in your community?
You're in You're in my community now. You're talking to me.
Yes, but now he's after the fact. Now he's
the MGTOW space. I respect your space. I didn't even know you existed 2 weeks ago.
Fuck off, cunt! You fucking made a video about me. Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Well, here's Traversable. To be fair, we openly criticize MRAs, Paul Elam, and everyone else. So it's, I mean, we're also
because that's in our interest, because we are MGTOW right from the get-go. We're MRAs. We split to MGTOW. We're all in the manosphere.
Okay, as adults, Traversable, we take criticism as well. We know that people are going to criticize us. I mean, we can't. How do I put this? It's one thing if someone comes.
Yeah, I take criticism daily.
It's another if someone wants to criticize MGTOW. People can criticize us all they want. We don't care. We're passive to that. But you can't attack Bearing for simply talking about MGTOW. You can say you hate what he says. You can criticize the things that he says, but you can't criticize him for discussing it. And you can't say he's invading the MGTOW community just by discussing MGTOW.
That I can't criticize them.
No, you of course you can criticize me, but calling someone a pedophile, is not criticizing them.
Use the right terminology. Pedo.
No, I'm not going to let you fucking retreat to that. You're full of shit. You called me a pedophile several times. I've got the video here. I'll make a video about it. I already have.
You know.
See, with it, you're just going to keep it up, and then eventually this is going to get worse because more people are going to start saying, "Hey, there's no reason why I can't report them," and then you're going to get kicked off again. Is that what you want, or you just want to? We can say I apologize to you, and you apologize to me, and then say that you'll never use my shit again, and then I'll say thanks, Bear, and I apologize to you, and you can say I apologize, but you don't want to do that.
No, because you're not making any sense. You're not making any sense.
That made perfect sense.
What had I done to you? What had I done? Why did you call me a pedophile? Why did you do that? Just answer it.
Why did I didn't call you a pedophile.
Yes, you did.
Okay, so Traversable.
Yes.
From what I understand, in the video that you made, and I didn't really see all of it, you said you called him pedo bear, and then you suggested that the image that he was using of a bear was something that could be used to lure children.
That's what pedo bear is. It's an image that lures children, and we make fun of it as a meme.
Okay.
And it just happens to be a bear. So it was funny. It was comedy, wasn't it?
So were you saying, all right, so in other words, were you saying that you were just making fun of the bear and saying that the bear resembles pedo bear, but you're not actually calling Bearing a pedophile?
Well, there's some slight humor in there and stuff like, Bear does.
Okay, there's humor in there, but what I'm saying is, were you trying to call Bearing, the person behind the bear, were you trying to call the man a
But the pedo bear thing has an idea behind it. And let's see, if I draw an X on my hand and I say, hey kids, look at this X, and I go, get out of here, that X is stupid. But if I put a bear puppet on my hand and I say, hey kids, it provokes a different response, doesn't it?
Okay, so you are suggesting that his use of the bear could essentially draw in children because he
does draw in children.
Okay,
it does draw in children. So you were insinuating that
you have 10,800. What was the percentage on that of children under 17? And you put the stats up.
3.1%, I think.
3.1. That's 10,800. A little over 10,800 right now.
Out of an audience of 330,000. Yeah.
So there's 10,800 children listening to you. Don't you think you have a responsibility at that point?
And so in your mind,
don't those kids matter? Because
in your mind, is that a direct? Have I directly targeted children? Because that's what you're implying.
There's other points behind this, but we'll get to that later. Yes, I think you're directly targeting. I don't think you care. I don't think you're directly targeting, but I don't think you care enough to say, "Hey, I care more about that 10,800 children that I have in my audience."
But what do you mean care? What do you mean care for them? Like what should I be doing differently? What am I doing? How am I hurting them? I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, it's foul language. It's adult material. It's adult ideas.
Mate, people under 18 are watching fucking South Park and Family Guy and Cross knows what. Why?
That's their parents' choice.
So isn't it their parents' choice if they watch me? What's the difference?
Generally on YouTube, if we can say 18 or over, and that's what I'm saying, say 18 or older in my videos, I do that.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
See, then you use the pedo and you don't want to do it.
I don't have to do that. I'm not obliged to do that, and so I don't do that.
That's your feelings about that. I have different feelings, and I'm entitled to my.
That's YouTube's opinion on that. That's YouTube's opinion.
Soon that's going to change, probably.
Will it probably? Okay. We'll probably deal with it then. Probably.
Rating systems, proper rating systems around here. But the thing is, don't you care about those children? If it was one children that goes around and starts using the C word, because you use that a lot, really. Come on, guy. I mean,
so what? I've got. It's called freedom of expression, man. I've got every right to say whatever words I like.
Yeah. See, so imagine that scenario in life. A guy up on the street walks up with a bear puppet on his hand, and he goes, "Hey, kids," and the mom and the kids and the dad walk towards him, and he says, "Hey, kids, I'm this bear. I'm, and blah 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 blah," and he goes, "Cunt." Wouldn't you be horrified?
That was a crap analogy because I haven't
be horrified as the parent.
I haven't approached any. I haven't approached any.
Wouldn't that be horrifying?
Listen, if you're going to keep talking over me, I'm just going to end this stream. You're being fucking annoying. I haven't approached any child, have I? I've set up my channel and I've done what I do, and yeah, some children watch me, but fucking hell, as I said, the children watch fucking South Park and what? What are you sniggering at, you fat cunt?
Ooh, look at that fat bear there. We've all seen your picture. Come on. We've all seen your picture. Come on.
I bet it.
You know, when Drama Bear when Drama Bear requested that you take the bear down, I think that would have been the best thing for you.
This is all ad hominem, mate. This is all ad hominem because you don't have an argument. Yes, do you know what you don't know what an ad hominem is, do you?
You just preserved the question. You call me a fat cunt, and then you go, "Oh, now it's ad hominem because I look at that fat bear. Look at that fat bear."
Where's his? I don't
You're so
understand.
hypocritical. Come on.
Listen. The fact is, you made a video out of nowhere. I hadn't done anything to you. You made a video accusing me multiple times of being a pedophile. Do you not see how that is a dick move?
We went over this already. I know you're going to stick in your craw for a long time, but we went over this already.
What? So because you assume that I'm out there targeting children, it's
yes,
that's idiotic. That is absolutely idiotic.
No, a lot of people would agree with me.
No, well, who are they?
A lot of really intelligent people would agree with me.
Oh, fucking. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere.
I know it's not going. This is why I didn't want to discuss it in the first place, because I seen that you're really not going to get what I'm saying. You're really not at that mature stage in your life where you're going to get what I see. What I see, mate, when I look.
You've come on. You've given us a fucking fool's interpretation of an irrelevant rule. You just
talk about ad hominem. I'm trying to be nice, and then you always go to that.
No, you're not, because nice people don't make videos falsely accusing someone of being a pedophile, mate. That is horrendous. That is such a cunt act.
Okay.
Like that's
see that? There you go. There you go.
Will you stop for a moment? Stop. Traversable. Alex Brown. Alex Brown is a fucking child molester. He's a disgrace to the MGTOW community. All right. So we all know how serious we take that here in MGTOW, especially that we worry that, you know, people could easily come around and say that us men, as MGTOW men, are trying to lure boys into a man-only community. All right. We know how serious that shit is. So at the end of the day, suggesting that Bearing is a pedophile just for using the image of a bear, that's a serious thing. And I listen, I understand, you know, that no one here respects you more than I do, but dude, you can fuck up someone's life by making that allegation very easily. You suggested that the guy was potentially a pedophile just for the image, dude. Dude, there's a lot of other channels.
Use the correct terminology, pedo bear.
Again, traversable. That was going too far, because once someone gets the stigma of being a pedophile on them, that can fuck up everything, dude. I mean, you're the same guy that rants about this shit and how serious this crap is. I don't know.
And Alex is going to be spending some time in jail.
Mainly what? What did you say?
Alex will be spending some time in jail.
Yeah. So should I spend some time in jail?
No, that's a different thing. Alex baited little girls in, and you use a bear that reminds me of a common.
But if we're both pedophiles, then why shouldn't I go to jail as well?
Because you're saying pedophile, I'm not.
You're suggesting that he is a potential pedophile versus Alex, who is a convicted pedophile. All right, dude, traversable. I get it. You're one of the you're one of the older guys in MGTOW. You've been here. You helped build this community. You get your respect, and you know you're an OG. But at the same time, you have. I don't know how to. I was hoping that we'd be able to come to some kind of consensus and agree to disagree. I don't know.
Yeah, we could do that. You know, I made an apology video right after that, and then I got.
You know that apology video, right? I watched that, and you had called me a pedophile the day before, so I watched it and I slept and I considered it, right? The next day I came back to your channel to accept it, because I thought, yeah, look, there's in the past there has been, you know, some tensions between MGTOW and you know, whatever else you want to call the manosphere or whatever. I thought it would be a good it would be an act of goodwill. It would be something that could be used to bridge the communities, if you like. And I came back to your channel, and you'd made 2 fucking more videos calling me a pedophile. It's ridiculous.
I don't think I made 2 more
you fuck
videos,
your own
Brian.
ass, mate. You shoot
I
yourself
don't think
in
I
the
made
foot.
2 more videos. I made that
Yeah, you
video,
did.
then I made the video on some MGTOW topic, then I made the video on how
Granted, they
then
may
I
have
made
been
the video
videos
on
about
how these
something else,
things progress. The
made mentions of me being a
if you
pedophile in them.
consider those as, you know, I mean,
When you say Bearing is a pedophile, yeah, I consider that an accusation of you know.
No, I leave that in your head when I say the pedo bear. I mean,
No,
I leave that in your head, and then you go to pedophile.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Traversable,
No,
you realize that you are setting a very bad. You're setting up a very bad precedence right now based on what you did. Because, for example, what is this going to say about MGTOW? MGTOWs can't take criticism. MGTOWs are, you know, what we're gonna. This is not how we fight our battles, dude. We fight our battles using our words. You could have called Bearing, you could call him a fucking cunt for all you want, but trying to censor someone and then using the lame argument that he used my video, that's not a good argument. And again, dude, it doesn't work. And I was there before. I understand. I could be the same way, but you're not right in this situation. And I don't know what the hell else to say, because I don't want to lose you as a friend. You know, you've been there for me. You've been there for me a lot of times, and I respect the shit out of you. At the same time, I don't, you know, after getting to know Bearing, I realize he's a troll, but he's not a bad guy. And I don't know why.
No, I don't believe he's, you know, a bad guy or anything.
Yeah,
I believe he has a lot of growing up to do, and
I don't know why it is that I think that your pride is preventing you from admitting that you took it too far with the whole pedophile thing. You could fuck up this man's life. Just associating him with that could fuck up his life. I mean, again, you know, I'm a grown man watching Dragon Ball Z at 33 years old. A lot of us still enjoy kid stuff. And a lot of those cartoons, Dexter Laboratory, that's more adult than children, okay? I mean, what I'm trying to say is that you can't simply say that he's trying to draw in children because he uses a cartoon bear. That's not right, dude. You pushed it too far. And I'm not saying you need to apologize, but you need to come to some consensus that no one's gonna take us seriously, dude. If we can't at least, you know, show some restraint and some rationality. We have to have some composure and some level of some level of balance. Are they just going to say that all the MGTOWs are crazy? I say that I'm not the entire MGTOW community. We're a diverse group of people with our own thoughts and philosophies. But if we start trying to censor people just because we don't like the things that they say and using arguments that aren't applicable at all to justify our actions, that makes us no better than the feminists, which is something I hate to say, because I'm always saying that we are nothing like the feminists. We don't stop people from speaking. You know,
I don't care what the feminists do.
We don't hide from criticism. I mean, you can't fuck up this man's life just for the sake of shits and giggles, calling him a pedophile just because you're angry at him. It's not right, Bear. It's not right, Traversable. And this is coming from me, angry MGTOW, who goes off on everything and everyone, telling you, you know, when I'm telling you that this isn't right, think about that. When I'm saying you crossed the line, think about that. Think about who you're talking to, the guy who pushes things to the limit.
Okay, that's your opinion. And you know, there seems to be a special set of rules that's being applied to MGTOW. MGTOW has to watch itself. MGTOW has to do things. MGTOW has to act in a stoic way. MGTOW has to, you know, calm themselves down. This is what we've been getting.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But that's what you guys are saying. Oh, Joe, watch yourself.
No,
Joe,
no,
there's a special set of rules
I've
for
never,
you.
Don't forget about
Joe,
MGTOW.
I've never called anyone a pedophile, mate.
Forget about
There's a
MGTOW.
special set of rules for me. And when I get 1,000, Bear, your people coming over saying I'm gay is nothing new to me. I've got that for 5 years now. Every time we speak, there's going to be some guy that comes over and says, oh, you guys are gay, you guys are this, you guys are that.
What's that got to do with me, mate? What's that got to do with me?
Because we're supposed to act all stoic and everything and saying, oh, yeah, that's, look, they're just, you know, they're just idiots. They're just saying that. But, you know, and when you reverse this thing, Just
do
be
you
stoic,
not
Bear.
consider that
Just be stoic about it, Bear.
People say that shit to me as well, mate. People
Just say,
say
ha
that
ha
stuff to
ha,
me.
boy, that's versatile. Ha ha ha. You know, I'll just be the stoic individual here. When I said that, you were just supposed to be stoic. The same set of rules you apply to me.
You called me a pedophile. A pedophile.
Just be stoic, Bear. Laugh it off.
Are
just
you
like
serious?
the video I did. Just like the video I did yesterday. Laugh it off, Bear. Be a
Laugh
trooper.
it off.
Be a man.
Just like you laughed off that video where I said you were gay. You ran to YouTube crying.
Yeah,
like
laugh it off. That's the rules that are applied to me. I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to be a stoic. I'm supposed to do
you are
this. I'm
such
supposed to be
a fucking hypocrite. You
don't understand.
You're a bit fucking. You're wrong in the head,
This
mate.
is what kids
you are
get from
mentally
the
sick.
You know, this is what kids get from the day they're, you know, become little men. We're supposed to be these stoic little troopers. Man up, dude. And that gets applied to us at MGTOW. There's a separate set of rules for MGTOW than there is for the rest of the community.
Okay. Well, listen, Traversable, you've made it very clear that we are not going to reach any consensus with Bearing. I would like to have a few. I have to go very soon, so I'd like you to leave the chat. We'll talk later. Thank you for stopping in. I'd like to use these few minutes to talk to Bearing. So please exit the chat. Thanks for stopping in.
Okay, you guys take care, and I think we can come to a consensus here.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, cunt.
See, there you go.
Okay. What the hell am I supposed to say in this matter? You know.
Oh, look, there's nothing you can say. I mean, the guy's obviously I don't know. Is he fucking a bit mentally sick or
No.
he just wasn't making sense. It just wasn't connecting, you know.
I could, you know what? Listen, the point I want to say is that I am one of the craziest motherfuckers out there, and what I'm trying to point is that we're not all. I hate to say we're, you know, now like I said, like now I'm feeling like a feminist. We're not all like that. We, you know, we have TFMs. We have a diverse group in MGTOW. Not all MGTOW, you know.
Oh, look, let me stop you. Make no mistake. I don't for a second take this drama with Trav and you know have it have it taint my view of MGTOW. I'm not a MGTOW. I don't think I'll ever be a MGTOW, but I've got nothing against MGTOW. I've actually got a bit of respect for MGTOW because there's a lot of you that I follow that I like. So don't feel you need to apologize on his behalf or anything because
you did make a video. You did make a video. Do you even MGTOW, bro? Traverse, and you did talk about the fact that some of us MGTOW can come across as I don't know, extreme or
Hang on a sec. So but that title was addressing Joe.
Okay.
It was saying to Joe, do you even MGTOW? Because again, I knew it would get under his skin. But what did I say in the video that could be considered a general attack on MGTOW? Because it's certainly not what I meant to do.
Okay. I mean, again, maybe the first time I listened to it, I thought you were initially called saying that you hadn't met a good MGTOW at this point, but at the same time, you did talk about the fact that you had sat down with TFM and MGTOW 101. So again,
certainly didn't say I hadn't met a good MGTOW. That's just not the case. No, I think you've missed it.
But as you can see, like TFM is a he's a monkey and he uses a lot of rationality and reason. Although
hang on, he's a monkey. He's a pedophile. Oh, I know he's not a cartoon monkey. It's all right.
But that's TFM. He flings shit at people. And then you have MGTOW 101. MGTOW 101. He's on the outskirts of MGTOW. He's very, he's a guy that goes out, still loves to fuck girls. There's also one of my favorite MGTOW channels, No Holds Bar. No holds bars. No holds barred. We're from the same city, me and him. I haven't actually met him face to face, but we started our channels around about the same time. So I've got I'm good mates with No Holds Barred. Perfect example. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we're just all normal guys, and that's why I come around and I try to step outside of the MGTOW space every so often, just to let people know that I don't represent the entirety of the MGTOW community. Traversable definitely does not represent the entirety of the MGTOW community. We're just like you have a society filled with people with different thoughts, beliefs, ideas. You're gonna find MGTOWs just like that. Even I talked about the male utopia concept, but even then, that's just me talking. That doesn't represent the entirety of all men, and that's at the most extremist end of things. But those are my views. That's not the view of all men. That would be like saying that all men believe these things just because a single man believes that. I know MGTOW is something new, but MGTOW are just men going their own way, focused on themselves, their own happiness, and their passion. What happened with you and Traversable? You can see I disagree with it entirely.
Yeah.
And
no, I appreciate you doing this. It was good. It's a good opportunity to sort of get at him, because he was just refusing to interact with me whatsoever, other than sort of throwing those accusations at me. It's Hi guys, have a great day. Fuck off, cunt.
But
as his little laugh, he goes every now and again. It's fucking
holy cow. But I mean, at least you got it out there. At least you were able to have a great guy.
Yeah.
At least you were able to speak to him. At least now that you guys are not gonna get along.
Yeah. We'll see what comes of it now. He'll do a couple of podcasts on me where he gets he seems to have sort of one or two, maybe three of these people that sort of just blindly fucking just ignore reality and just go, yeah, Joe, yeah, no, fucking 3 bags full, Joe, and fucking just agree with him. They seem like ridiculous cunts, but yeah, anyway.
Well, here's the thing. We all have a job to do in MGTOW, and that's what we all say. We all have a job to do. My job is I use controversy, I use a bit of drama, I use prodding so that I can bring attention to MGTOW. And even if people don't agree with me, chances are they may Google the word they may search for the word MGTOW, and they might find someone who they do agree with. So just by me bringing people, getting awareness to it, I'm doing my job. Traversable's doing his job. You're also doing your job in your own way, bringing attention to hypocrisy of feminism, of social justice warriors. We all have a job to do. We're all doing our job, and I think that's all we can really ask for. So, again, we tried today to sort this thing out. Things are not always going to work themselves out. Wish you guys could have worked it out as men, but I think that Joe's a little older, and he's older, and he's also kind of stubborn.
Yeah. And look, I'll make it clear. I mean, my number one objective here on YouTube is to have fun. being an anti-feminist sort of comes second. So
yeah, like that's what I said to him. I said Bearing's a troll, but he doesn't mean any harm. All right, mate. Well, listen, definitely thanks for coming on, and
thanks for having me.
And obviously, I'm pretty sure you'll probably end up using pieces of this video.
Oh, look, as it stands right now, I don't think I will. I mean, look, I'll certainly grab a copy of it to use it if I need to in the future. But I mean, I think at this point, I think people are more interested in hearing about fucking pussies whinging about Trump in America than some fat cunt calling me a pedophile. So.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna comment. That's between you and Trav. Like I said, I know why you're saying it, but just know that not all MGTOWs are like that. Definitely thanks for stopping on, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast with Bearing. It's titled "A Friendly Chat with Bearing and Traversable MGTOW." How friendly?
Oh, you should call it a friendly chat with Bearing, and then what can we say? We can say and then a heated argument. Yeah, I don't know. You come up with something.
All right, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MGTOW. Or
hey, sorry to fuck up your outro, but is that Amanda chick's in the chat? You got a chick in your chat? Fuck, kick that bitch. Sorry, I fucked you up, but yeah, thanks for having me anyway, mate. It was good to chat.